It's awarded this year to a very, very special lady, and I mean a very special lady. She's been a very significant person in Liverpool for many years, not because of the job she does today, but because of the job that she came here to do. She is responsible for many births. Many births. Not only in 1992 did she become a member of the Council of the Royal College of Midwives, but in 1997 was elected as president until 2004. But during those 2 terms of office, she continued to work as a clinical midwife. She's an honorary fellow of John Moores University. She was appointed Dame Commander of the British Empire and was appointed Dame Commander of the Royal Victorian Order in 2017 New Year's Honours List for her services as Lord Lieutenant of Merseyside, a role that she's held since 2006, a role from which she retires this year. I've never met so many people with so many titles or letters after the bloody name, I'll be honest. The letters go on forever, but I have been in this lady's company on many occasions, and she has actually made me laugh so many times with all sorts of stories, not just about being Lord Lieutenant and travelling the country and that, but also she described herself as, and for those of you who watch Call the Midwife, she described herself as the Chumley of Liverpool. And they'll know exactly what we're talking about. To present this award, I'd like you please to welcome former Lord Mayor of Liverpool, Councillor Frank Prendergast, MBE. I'm going to let you say a few words before we get the exact lady up, but...
There's not much I can say that hasn't already been said. Dame Lorna has been the backbone of civic life right across Merseyside since she took up office. She has a terrible habit, though, of blaming people when anything goes wrong. Everybody else gets the blame except Dame Lorna. And she's actually eaten out for about the last 4 years on an incident that she caused in losing Prince Philip and then blamed me for. Either way, we eventually found him. But Dame Lorna, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you here today. I must also say that while Dame Lorna's coming up, she has got a terrible sense of humour. Terrible in that once she starts, you can't stop her. And the stories about the birth that she's given across she's helped and assisted in, including, I've just found out today as well, the sextuplets. Dame Lorna was there when they were born, and a lot of other people. But the stories about the people she's worked with and delivered babies to are absolutely fantastic. Dame Lorna.
Dame Lorna Muirhead, DCVO DBE.
Right, are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. I came here many years ago as a midwife. It was the best day, apart from marrying my husband, it was the best day's job I ever did, and worked at the Women's and Oxford Street and probably delivered many, many thousands of babies and enjoyed Liverpool to the absolute full. You have to hear 2 Labour Award stories, don't you? You've just got to do it. I was sitting having a cup of tea one Sunday morning, hoping people wouldn't want to be in Labour, but they were. They rang the bell, and I walked up the ward, and a man said to me, "Good morning, sister. I've brought my wife for inducement." I said, "That's absolutely wonderful." He said, "I was going to bring me ma. She's had 12. I thought, oh, God. He said, "Yeah." He said, "My father's a Roman Catholic, and he's got no sense of rhythm." That is so Merseyside. That is so Liverpool. I wasn't very old at the time, so I didn't quite know what he meant. But anyhow, another time, many years on, I was in my Morecambe and Wise phase, and the words came out, but not necessarily in the right order. And a man said to me as I was about to deliver his baby, "Oh, sister, I feel awful funny." "Just sit down there," I said, "Mr. So-and-so, and put your hands between your legs." Quick as a flash, my Liverpool colleague said, "It won't make you feel any better, but it'll take your mind off it." So imagine having a job where you're chummy, the posh girl on the bike, and it's a fantastic job in the whole world, and the humour as well. It's a wonder the Queen ever appointed me to be the Lord Lieutenant, but I think I have to say about the Queen, what you don't know is that she is fun, and she loves coming to Merseyside. And as Prince William says, Granny quite likes it when things go slightly wrong, because everything in her world is very perfect, as long as it doesn't disturb the magic and the dignity. Now, this young man here was the Lord Mayor. Prince Philip came, and we were to take him to the 9th floor. We each had a lift. Frank was coming in my lift, or I was going in your lift, I don't mind which. And Prince Philip was coming.
I wasn't going in any lift. I should have stayed downstairs.
Yeah, you should. Anyhow, Prince Philip is talking to a pretty girl in the foyer, so why does he want to move anywhere? Frank jumps in the lift, I jumped in the lift, and Frank said, 9th floor, wasn't it? Push the bell. We left Prince Philip down there. We get out of the lift, there's the Queen. She looks a bit, we try and busk it a bit. Oh, no. I'm my dutifully 2 paces behind Her Majesty when she turns round and says, Philip? And I said, I'm terribly sorry, Your Majesty, but we seem to have mislaid your husband. She said, how very careless. So why wouldn't the Queen come here? One final story. This is why I've been made famous with Her Majesty. You must have heard it. Frank, come here, you can verify it. The Queen on her Jubilee tour in 2012 asked if she could go on the Duck. We didn't think it was a good idea. But she wanted to, and she is the Queen. So we went to see the Duckmen. They built a staircase. They put some carpet down and put a little roll on our laps in case we got cold. And the day dawned, and Her Majesty arrived, and we were all not really wanting to go on this duck. And I opened my little packet, my little program, which my clerk has made, and I read, "The Queen and the Duke mount the duck." I hope the Queen hasn't got her spectacles. So the Queen mounted the duck, and we put her to sit. We put her to sit on the left-hand side, and the Duke. All's going well. Frank, myself, Joe Anderson, my Vice Lord left. All the heavyweights sat on the other side, and the boat went sort of like this. And up there are the Duke and the Queen, and we're all down here. Oh, a tricky situation, made all the worse by the fact that the boatmen wanted to go. So they went down the ramp, and we're going like the TT races round whatever. Queen seems not to notice. Got a problem with her finger, that's okay, and she waves, and that's fine. The water's lapping up the sides here. We get back, all's well, we have lunch, the Queen goes, she writes a lovely letter saying how lovely it was and all the rest of it, and all is well. 6 months later, the Queen asked all the Lord Lieutenants to go to Windsor so she could thank them for all their efforts for making her Jubilee thing go so well. I'm waiting to be introduced to the Queen in a lineup when she looks up and she said, I know who this is. This is the Lord Lieutenant of Merseyside who tried to drown me in the Albert Dock. And she didn't think I noticed. Now, Frank can go on from that to say, Frank went to get his MBE. I am the Queen, Frank. You're standing in front of me. And she says to Frank, we've met. And you said, come here.
My response was, yes, we met several times, including the last time you came to Liverpool. And she said, oh, yes, she said, I went on that duck. Oh, what an experience. And I said, just as well you never came back the next week because it sank.
Come on, thank you. Yes.